Hey everyone, welcome back. You know, we often think of catfish as those humble, bottom-dwelling fish, right? But let me tell you, there's a whole lot more to them than meets the eye. Today, we're going on a deep dive into the fascinating world of modern catfish farming. And then, we'll follow that journey right into the processing plants, where these fish are transformed into top-quality fillets. We'll show you how catfish can be the star of your next meal. So, buckle up. Catfish are typically harvested when they reach market size, usually between 1.5 to 2.5 pounds, depending on demand. The harvesting process is carefully planned to ensure efficiency and minimal stress on the fish. Farmers use large nets or seines to gather catfish from the pond, corralling them into a confined area for easy collection. In some cases, ponds or tanks are partially or fully drained to simplify the process. You see these farmers working hard, swinging these massive nets through the pond, scooping up huge groups of catfish. Then, these cranes, they carefully lift those nets, filled to the brim with wriggling catfish, and swing them over these massive water tankers. And just like that, boom, the fish are gently dropped into the tanks. Once harvested, the fish are quickly transported to processing facilities or live markets to maintain their freshness and quality. So, when folks start raising catfish, one of the most popular ways is to build ponds. And it's not just about fresh water either. Breeders need to keep that water moving. Good water circulation helps keep the oxygen levels up, which is crucial for healthy catfish. But here's the thing. We're talking about making sure the pH is just right, and that stuff like ammonia, nitrites, and nitrates don't build up. Ideally, a lot of breeders find that water from underground wells is perfect. It's clean, it's consistent. Now, after all that work getting the pond just right, you've got these little catfish fingerlings, all healthy and raring to go. Time to release them into their brand new, perfect pond home. These days, a lot of farmers are using artificial fertilization to really boost those catfish hatching rates. First off, breeders pick the best of the best male and female catfish. Then, they carefully extract that sperm and use it to fertilize the eggs from the females. It's a pretty delicate process. Now, instead of just leaving the fertilized eggs out in a pond, they put them in these special indoor tanks. The temperature and water quality in these tanks are super closely monitored. They want to make sure everything is perfect, so as many eggs as possible hatch. It's like giving them a head start in life. Once the little fry hatch, they stay in those cozy indoor tanks until they're big enough to handle the outside world. Finally, when they're strong enough, they get transferred to these big outdoor ponds. Pretty cool, huh? In modern catfish farms, their diet is carefully managed to ensure optimal growth and health. These fish are typically fed high-protein pellets, prepared with essential nutrients. Specifically formulated diet, often containing plant-based ingredients like soybean meal, corn, and wheat byproducts. Instead of manual feeding, large-scale farms use specialized feed trucks and automatic spreaders to distribute food evenly across vast ponds. These machines ensure that all fish get access to food while reducing waste and maintaining water quality. Upon arrival at processing plants, They are moved through an automated conveyor system for cleaning and processing. For whole fish products, the catfish undergo partial skin removal while keeping the body intact. The remaining catfish are carefully split in half, and a team of skilled workers begins the filleting process. They remove the skin, large bones, and excess fat to ensure that only clean, high-quality fillets remain. Each fillet is trimmed to perfection, leaving behind lean, boneless portions ready for further processing, packaging, or distribution. This meticulous process guarantees that consumers receive premium catfish fillets with excellent texture and taste. For frozen catfish products, the fillets go through an advanced freezing process to ensure long-term preservation. They will pass through industrial freezers and sometimes glazing machines. Once fully frozen and glazed, the fillets are packed into sealed packaging and ready to go. The fresh catfish fillets are carefully portioned and placed into individual plastic bags to maintain their freshness. Each batch is weighed to ensure consistent packaging before being layered with crushed ice to keep the fillets at the optimal temperature. The ice-packed fillets are then arranged in sturdy cardboard boxes. Catfish meat is known for its mild, slightly sweet flavor and firm yet tender texture. It has a relatively low fat content, but remains moist when cooked, making it a versatile ingredient in many dishes. The meat is lean, protein-rich, and has a delicate flake, which makes it suitable for various cooking methods like frying, grilling, stewing, baking, or blackening. Do you know the amazing prickly pear cactus? A plant that's as impressive for its delicious, nutrient-packed fruit. Prickly pear fruit is not only tasty, but also full of vitamins and antioxidants. Plus, cactus leather uses 99% less water than traditional leather, making it a game-changer for sustainable fashion. In this video, we'll take you from planting and harvesting these spiky plants to turning their fruit and pads into tasty treats and stylish, eco-conscious products. You'll find giant prickly pear plantations thriving in some of the sunniest, driest spots on Earth, mainly across Mexico, parts of South America, Italy, and even North Africa. These spiky farms love the heat and don't mind a bit of drought. Actually, they prefer it. In Mexico, where the prickly pear is basically a national treasure, you'll see vast fields of these funky green pads stretching out under the blazing sun. It's like a cactus party out there. Growing a strong, healthy crop of prickly pear cacti isn't just a plant it and forget it kind of deal. It actually takes quite a bit of effort. The big, healthy prickly pear cacti you see standing tall in the fields, they're more than just tough survivors. They're the proud parents of the next generation. Instead of using seeds, Farmers usually grow new cactus plants through a clever method called vegetative propagation. They simply take mature pads from the mother plant, let them dry out for a few days. This helps prevent rotting, and then plant them straight into the soil. Farmers carefully mix in mineral-rich fertilizers with the soil to give the young plants a nutrient boost. Then, they set up irrigation systems to make sure the cacti get just the right amount of water, especially important in dry climates. Weeds and pests? Yep, those are a problem too. Farmers have to spray carefully to keep things like the cochineal insect, a tiny pest that loves to hide on cactus pads, in check. You definitely can't miss a prickly pear in bloom. It's like nature showing off. These cacti burst into color during spring and early summer, with big, bold flowers in vibrant shades of yellow, orange, pink, red, or magenta. After those eye-catching flowers fade away, it's fruit time. Prickly pear fruits, often called tunas, start to grow right where the blooms once were. These fruits are oval-shaped, covered in tiny spines, and packed with juicy, sweet, tart flesh inside. But not every fruit gets to stay. Usually, they keep just 5 to 6 fruits per pad to ensure the remaining ones get all the nutrients they need to become plump, flavorful, and high quality. Prickly pear fruits are usually ready for harvest in late summer to early fall, when they've reached their full color, whether that's vibrant red, deep purple, or golden yellow, depending on the species. Harvesting them isn't as simple as picking apples. These fruits are covered in tiny, irritating spines called glochids. So farmers come prepared. They wear thick gloves, grab their buckets, and use a sharp knife or tongs to carefully twist or cut each ripe fruit off the pad. Some even use long-handled tools to avoid those pesky spines. Once the buckets are full, harvesters transfer the prickly pears into larger bins, carefully pouring them in to avoid damaging the delicate fruit. These bins are then loaded onto trucks and sent off to processing facilities, where the real transformation begins. When the prickly pears arrive at the factory, the bins are unloaded and poured into rolling machines designed to remove the sharp spines. These machines use soft rubber rollers that gently rub the fruit clean. No more prickles to worry about. After despining, the fruits move along conveyor belts, where hard-working staff carefully sort them by size, ripeness, and quality. Only the best make it to the next stage of processing. It's a perfect blend of machine precision and human care. Prickly pear fruit, or tuna as it's called in Spanish, is a favorite in many kitchens. People love turning it into sweet jams, refreshing juices, tangy syrups, candies, and even fermented drinks like prickly pear wine. Some also enjoy eating it fresh, just chilled, peeled, and sliced. Inside this vibrant fruit is a powerhouse of nutrition. It's rich in antioxidants, vitamin C, magnesium, potassium, and fiber. Plus, it contains betalains, the same pigments that give beets their color, which have anti-inflammatory properties. So what about those prickly pear pads, which are nearly 90% water? Are they just tossed away? Absolutely not. Locals transform these juicy pads into cactus leather for fashion and accessories. Get ready, you're about to see some seriously surprising stuff. Making leather from prickly pear cactus saves a huge amount of water. For example, producing one pair of traditional animal leather shoes takes as much water as 109 shower sessions. Meanwhile, cactus leather needs barely any water to grow, so just one shower session's worth of water is enough to make a pair of cactus shoes. That's a game changer for sustainable fashion. The process of making cactus leather starts with washing and chopping the pads, then drying them under the sun. After that, the dried cactus is mixed with eco-friendly, non-toxic chemicals to create a durable, plant-based leather. Many environmentally conscious companies now produce sustainable cactus leather products that are soft, strong, and biodegradable. These cactus leather goods are breathable, cruelty-free, and kind to the planet. So, what do you think? Would you give cactus leather a try?
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit, I got no love for the fakeness.
Wild, fast, and nearly impossible to tame. Sounds like a wild animal, right? But in China, these fierce creatures are raised on farms, without fences. Each wild boar eats up to 5 kilograms of food a day, can roam for miles, and remembers food spots for over a year. Smarter than some dogs. So how do they do it? Let's dive into China's untamed world of wild boar farming. The wild boar, the ancient ancestor of today's domestic pig, was first tamed nearly 9,000 years ago in the Middle East and China. Today, its descendants roam across Asia, Europe, North Africa, and even America. Known for their sharp memory, wild boars can remember paths and food sources as well as dogs or even chimpanzees. At first glance, wild boars might seem too fierce, too wild to raise. But in some parts of China, farmers have found a surprisingly natural and clever way to do just that. No crowded barns, no concrete pens. Many simply let the boars roam freely through nearby forests during the day, just like their ancestors did thousands of years ago. This method is known as semi-wild farming. The boars explore, dig, graze, and at sunset, they often return to their pens on their own. When it comes to food, wild boars aren't picky, but they are well fed. One adult boar can eat up to 5 kilograms of food each day. That's like 50 apples. And their diet? Not just boring pig feed. They get fresh leaves, sweet potatoes, grains, even fruits. Thanks to their habit of digging through the soil for food, they help loosen the earth, trigger seed germination, and support the natural regeneration of the ecosystem. On some farms, their drinking water is infused with Chinese medicinal herbs, like astragalus or ginseng, to help boost immunity. And the breeds? Farmers pick strong, healthy piglets, usually just a few months old and full of curiosity. These are special hybrids, part wild boar, part domestic pig. The mix keeps the rich, wild flavor of the meat while making the animals a bit easier to manage on the farm. Wild boars don't breed as easily as domestic pigs, but under the right conditions, one sow can give birth to 5 to 8 piglets per litter, sometimes even more. Farmers also tag the piglets' ears to keep track, and, yep, the boys usually get castrated early on. It's for safety and tastier meat later. When wild boar piglets are born, they don't look anything like pigs. They have brown, yellow, and black stripes across their backs, just like tiny baby tigers. Those stripes help them blend in with leaves and grass, hiding from predators. After about 3 to 4 months, their fur darkens, and they start to look like their parents. But don't be fooled. Even when raised on a farm, wild boars don't lose their wild side. They're smart, cautious, and very fast. Catching one when it's time to sell? That's a real battle. Some farmers even say it takes more skill to catch a wild boar than to raise one. But they keep doing it, not just for the profit, but for the pride. Because in these forests, raising wild boars isn't just farming. It's a tradition, a challenge, and, in a way, a dance between humans and nature. Now, let's explore the unique wild boar preparation process in China. First, the whole carcass is dipped into boiling water for a short time, just enough to loosen the coarse hair. Then comes the scraping, a careful, rhythmic task using knives or special tools to clean every inch of the thick hide. Wild boar meat isn't just delicious, it's nutritious too. It's higher in protein, lower in fat, and richer in minerals like iron and zinc compared to regular pork. That's why many health-conscious eaters are turning to wild boar as a more natural source of meat. Beyond roasting, the meat is also stir-fried, stewed, or smoked in traditional dishes. Even the boar fat is treasured. In many parts of China, roast wild boar is more than just a dish. It's a celebration. The process takes hours. The meat is slowly roasted over open flames, sometimes marinated with herbs and local spices. The result? A rich, smoky flavor and crispy skin that locals absolutely love, especially during festivals or family gatherings. And that's the story of China's wild boars. Fierce, smart, and surprisingly farmed. See you in the next wild adventure. Did you know a single jumbo squid can grow up to 2 meters long and weigh 50 kilograms in just 2 years? These giants roam the deep ocean in massive schools, hunting through the night. But tonight, they're the ones being hunted. Join us as we explore the daring world of jumbo squid fishing. Jumbo squids are true night hunters, traveling in massive schools to hunt more effectively. But when food gets scarce, they can turn aggressive, even eating each other. They grow incredibly fast, reaching up to 2 meters long and weighing as much as 50 kilograms. Jumbo squid, also known as Humboldt squid, are typically found in deep waters, mostly off the coasts of South America and Mexico. To catch jumbo squid, fishermen use large commercial vessels. After locating the massive schools of squid, fishermen then use specialized jigging machines to drop multiple hooks into the water. These hooks, equipped with shiny lures, mimic the movements of prey, enticing the squid to strike. In some regions, smaller fishing boats also join the action. Fishermen manually use large hand lines, each with multiple barbed hooks. As they feel the weight of a catch, they pull the lines with practiced skill to haul the squid on board. Jumbo squid fishing can be dangerous. These powerful creatures thrash violently when caught, and their sharp beaks can cause serious injury. Additionally, rough seas and unpredictable weather make the job even tougher. Jumbo squid are drawn to the bright lights. At night, powerful LED lights are turned on to attract them. After days at sea, the fishing boat finally approaches the harbor, loaded with freshly caught jumbo squid. Workers begin unloading the squid from the vessel's cold storage area. The large plastic crates filled with squid are manually moved, carefully stacked to prevent any damage. The squids may also be lifted using crane nets equipped with a built-in weighing system, allowing the crew to measure the catch directly as it's hoisted from the ship. Workers then load the cleaned squid onto refrigerated trucks and move them to the processing plant. At the processing plant, freshly caught jumbo squids undergo a thorough quality inspection to ensure size, texture, and freshness. At the filleting station, under a continuous stream of clean water from the spray system, workers skillfully remove the squid's skin, internal organs, and ink sacs. The workers then manually cut the squid to preserve its texture and aesthetic appeal and separate the squid into different parts, including the mantle and the tentacles. The larger squid pieces are thoroughly rinsed to remove any residual fluids and maintain cleanliness. The squid meat is then processed with advanced machinery to create uniform round cuts, ideal for packaging or culinary use. The round pieces undergo a thorough rinse to ensure any remaining debris or surface residue is removed. The squid rings are briefly blanched to enhance their texture and preserve freshness before further processing. The tentacles are briefly blanched to maintain their firmness and improve the texture for further processing. The remaining parts are also processed by cutting them into bite-sized portions, which are then packaged for various culinary uses. The processed squid is carefully packaged in various formats to suit market demands, ranging from whole pieces to pre-cut rings and tentacle clusters. The sealed packages are then moved to cold storage, preserving their freshness until they are ready to be shipped to markets worldwide.